Hey friends, it's Amy Dub, the Keto Queen. It's getting a little late, y'all. It's 6:40 and I've not even started dinner. I've been trying to thaw out some fish fillets. We're making some fish and chips tonight. So guys, the recipes are going to be in this post when I finish up this live video. We're going to go ahead and start with our chips. So a lot of people see fish and chips as fish and french fries or fish and fried potatoes. Instead of doing potatoes or french fries, we're doing fried pickles. So yes, we've got our little muffin pan here, and this is so easy. It actually is the first time I fixed it. Why? I don't know, but it is. I've been keto for 4 years, and I've never made fried pickles. So it's really super simple, guys. We're going to take this muffin pan, and even though I shouldn't have to spray it, I'm going to. Just in case, we're going to spray it, because I definitely don't want it to stick. Don't want to overly spray, so you don't want it greasy. So just a little bit of spray in each little hole. We're going to start off with some cheddar cheese. So we're going to put a little bit of cheddar cheese in the bottom of our muffin pan. And we're going to layer it with pickle and cheese. So you can use cheddar cheese. You can also use cheddar and Parmesan or cheddar and white cheddar. I'm just going to make it simple and use cheddar all by itself. So we're going to put a little bit of cheddar in each one of our little muffins. And then we're going to top it with some pickle. And then we're going to top it with another layer of cheddar cheese. And that's it. So we've got our oven on 400, and it takes about 15 minutes for these to crisp up, and it is a fried pickle. So this is going to be the chips to our fish. We're making, I'm sorry, I just got through drinking the Keto up. I just had a carbonated Keto up, so I had a burp. So anyway, we're fixing some cod fillets. We're going to make us some fish and chips. Again, the first time using these recipes, so I hope they're going to be tasty, and I will definitely come back later and let you know what I think. And if I will make any changes. So we're just doing cheddar cheese into our little muffin tin. And you can make this as thick as you want to. So if you want to do a lot of a lot of cheese and a little bit of pickle, or a lot of pickle and a little bit of cheese, it's up to you. I'm just layering the bottom. So as you can see, just a little thin little layer of cheese. And yeah. No, I stopped it because your dumb butt started snoring. Yeah, you have to rewatch it with me. Okay, now we're taking our pickles. So I'm using hamburger pickle slices, and we patted them dry. So they're not wet at all. And we're going to put that into our little muffins. And you can do one pickle, you can do 2 pickles, you can do 5 pickles, I don't care. They're yours. So I'm going to do one first, and then I'll go back and put some more in there if I want to. Or I could actually do a second round. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to go ahead and just put 2 or 3 pickles, because these are some big muffin pans. Now, if you have a little mini muffin maker, I think I'm crazy. It's been a long day, y'all. It was a wonderful day at work, but it's been a long one. So if you have like the little mini muffins, which I do, you can actually make these little bitty bite size. You wouldn't cook them for a full 15 minutes because they probably would cook faster. But we're just putting a couple of pickles in each one of ours. So you see here, 2 pickles in my little muffin pan with a layer of cheddar. And now we're going to go back and top it off with some more cheddar. Again, you can make your layers as thick as you want to. I'm just doing a little bit. You also can use your little mini waffle maker to make mini waffle fried pickles. I've done that before. And those will be really big. So instead of doing that, I wanted to make chips because we're having fish and chips. So I decided to use my muffin pan instead. All right, and this, thankfully, will cook the exact same time as my fish. So I'm thankful that this is not going to take long since we're starting late today. I took my fish out of the freezer and put it in the fridge today, and I thought surely by the time I get home it'll be halfway thawed. No, they're still frozen solid. So when I got home, I stuck them in a bag in a big bowl of water, and they've just been slowly thawing out. So when these finish, what we plan to do is dip them in some ranch and have us some fish and chips. So I haven't talked to you guys yet. I haven't read any comments because I want to get busy over here. I will come to the comments as soon as we start to cook these to see if you guys have any questions for me tonight. If this sounds delicious, please share. Share this video so other people can check this out. Again, I haven't tasted these recipes yet, but I feel like they're going to be great. All right. So now you'll see they are completely covered. The pickles are covered. The pickles were dried. So they were definitely set out dried with a paper towel. And they're going to be ready. So I got my oven on 400. I'm just going to set these over to the side We'll put these in the oven when I start the fish because they both are going to take 15 minutes. So isn't that awesome? And I want them both to be hot. So I did use some shredded cheddar today. I'm okay with that. All right, let's talk about the fish. I have 2 pieces of fish that are fully thawed. Let me check my other ones real fast just to see. Oh, yes, they're finally getting there. Finally getting there. All right, they're almost done. So we have 2 pieces that actually are thawed. So first thing I'm going to do is get this out of the way. Definitely don't want my fish to touch everything. We want to pat this fish dry. We want it to be patted dry. Now, I'm using cod fillets. You can use whatever you'd like. I'm using cod fillets because most fish and chips or fried fish recipes are with cod. So we have our fish patted dry. Now I'm going to salt and pepper them. So I'm going to make sure I get some really good salt and pepper. You can cut these in smaller pieces if you want to. I just got my hands nasty. Let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. All right, so we have a little layer mix over here we're going to use tonight. And again, this is the first time. So the first thing we're going to do after we've patted this fish dry is to salt and pepper both sides of the fish. So my hands will get dirty again in a minute. I have a plate, and it's got a cup of coconut flour. So coconut flour is not the same as almond flour. Coconut flour is in itself coconut flour. There are a lot of different ones. I personally just use the Walmart brand, the organic Walmart brand, because it had the best carb counts. This one is 2 tablespoon serving size, and it has 4 net carbs. Now, I'm not really hung up on the carbs in this today because I haven't eaten any carbs today. But we are going to dip our fish into the coconut flour. And then we're going to do an egg wash. So I have 2 eggs and 1 cup of unsweet almond milk. So 1 cup of coconut flour, a mix of 2 eggs and 1 cup of unsweet almond milk. And then we have a plate of crushed pork rinds. So we're going to dip it in the coconut flour, the egg wash, and then the pork rinds. And we're going to layer this into put this into our air fryer basket. So you guys know my air fryer basket is large and I can cook a lot of things at the same time, and that's exactly what we're going to do with this fish. So I've got my air fryer basket right here. We're going to spray the top, and there we go. So let me go ahead and do a couple while I wait on the other ones. They're almost done thawing. Now I'm going to salt and pepper this pretty darn good because I want to make sure they taste really, really good. So I have not done this before, so we will see. I love fish, but I rarely cook it myself. For me, that's like a really special treat when I go to the restaurant is to have a good piece of fish. So I rarely cook fish myself. I do like to grill it occasionally, but again, it's just a very rare occasion. So I know a lot of friends say, Amy, do you ever cook fish? And I'm like, no, not really. All right, we're going to take that patted dry cod. We're going to put it into the coconut flour first. Just wipe off the excess. We're going to put it into the egg bath. Again, we're going to get off the excess. And then we're going to dip it into our pork rinds. Now for the pork rinds this time, I just put them in a Ziploc bag and used my rolling pin to smush them out. So I made a pretty good little crusted pork rind. And here you go. Here's my first one. Look how good that looks. That looks pretty tasty, doesn't it? Yeah. I could have cut that in half and done little smaller pieces of fish, but man, don't that look good? Yum. All right, let me do my second piece, and then I'm going to see if the other ones are ready to prepare. So we got it in the coconut flour. Put it in the egg wash. We salt and peppered it. And then into the pork rinds. So the pork rinds, I did about 2 cups of crushed pork rinds. And I'm just pushing the fish down in there. Whoa, knocking off the excess. And then I'm going to spray the top of these fish fillets with my oil. With my little, I can't remember what this is, some kind of propellant-free oil. And I'm going to spray the top of that so it doesn't burn. So let me wipe my hands down and see if these other fishes are ready. And I'm going to get this started. So give me 1 second. Oh, thank goodness they are thawed. Yay! All right. Put me a new paper towel over here. I'm going to bring my fish and pat it dry. So what I did was take my fish out of that big freezer bag, put it into this little Ziploc bag so I could put it in some running water to get it thawed faster. There's a little bit of frozen piece right in the middle. Because of that, it might take a little bit longer to air fry, dang it. The air fryer should cook these within 10 minutes because they're pretty thin fillets. Let's put a lot of water in there. All right, not touching anything on my hands, y'all, except my paper towels, which I'm going to use on the fish. It's a little pitiful piece right there. That's a little pitiful piece. I'm going to put that one to the side. This is not as easy as it looks to pat down freshly thawed fish. We're just going to get all the excess water off of it. This one's got a little frozen center too, darn it. I mean, it's going to have to cook a little longer. I really need it to thaw all the way, but I'm getting hungry. Guys, if you love fish, give me some hearts. I love fish, but I see it as a delicacy. I hardly ever cook it. I like to have it served. All right, those are done. Let me wash my hands so I can touch some salt and pepper shakers. All right, it looks like I might have to do 2 batches of these, so I'm going to go ahead and get these going, get my oven going with salt and pepper. Salt, pepper. Flip them over. I hope you guys have had a great day. It has been a good one for me. All right, salt and pepper both sides. All right, here we go. Here's our combination. We've got coconut flour. So we're going to press it into the coconut flour and try not to make a mess like I just did. All right, and then we're going to dip it into our egg bath. 2 eggs, 1 cup of unsweet almond milk. And then we're going straight into our pork rind mix, which is just some crushed pork rinds. I'm using my favorite ones, the Salt and Pepper Max. I love Max pork rinds. They're so yummy. Knock off the excess. Stick it right in my air fryer basket. I'm making a mess, Lord of mercy. Enrique's back there watching TV. All right, we're going to do the next one. We got the coconut flour. Egg wash. And pork rinds. I think I've got room for 1 more. Nope, this is it. I'm just going to do these 3 at a time. So here you go. Isn't that pretty? It looks really pretty. We'll see. So let's do this. Let me wash my hands. All right, I'm going to spray the top of my fish. So this is what I'm using, just a little organic virgin oil, just to spray. It's propellant free. It's supposed to be healthier. I know these are not perfect, so okay. Let me spray it. Just don't want these to burn. Now I'm going to stick it in my air fryer. I've got it on 400. Guys, I'm moving my air fryer. I'm moving it from 350 to 400. I never do that. So I'm putting it on 400 air fry section, or set air fry option. And I'm cooking it for 10 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and put these bad boys in the oven. I got the oven on 400 and we're gonna do 15 minutes. I said 10 minutes, didn't I? Let me change that to 15 minutes. We're gonna do it in 15 minutes. All right, so this is a mess. I'm gonna move you over here and let's see if you guys have any questions for me. I hope you've had a fantastic day. While that's cooking, I'll see if you have any questions for me to answer tonight, and then we'll come back and look and see what this looks like in a minute. So I'm gonna have 2 batches of fish, which is perfectly fine because Ricky can eat without me. I'll eat the second batch, or we'll share. All right, so let's go to the top. If you have any questions for me, put them in the comments. I'm gonna answer any questions while we're waiting on this to cook. Hey, Angela, I can't wait to see what this tastes like myself. Fish and chips sounds good. Fried pickles, interesting. Yes, Karen, I'm excited to try them. So Haley has done some fried pickles in our little mini waffle makers, but they were big and they were delicious, but they were really big. And the only thing I don't like about cheese shuffles, so it's the same thing as a cheese shuffle, she just put pickles in between. The only thing I don't like about the cheese shuffles is they hurt the roof of my mouth because they get crispy and hard, right? So I wanted to make smaller chips, so I decided to use a muffin pan, and we'll see if that works out. Thank you, Jenny. I sure appreciate that. I love helping people. Hey, Sandra, how are you? Let's see, sounds yummy. I made cheese. It's the other day using the thin sliced cheddar cheese and everything bagel season. Oh yeah, she made Cheez-Its. Yes, that sounds delicious. Isn't it hot where you're at? Yes, honey, it is hot today. I think the heat index was like 105 today, which is not that bad considering there's other places a lot hotter, but that's unusual for our town today. Ooh, fried pickles with a cheeseburger is delicious. That sounds great. Debbie's says our fish and chips here are always haddock and fish. Haddocks and fries. Yes, I've never had haddock, Debbie, so I can't wait to travel somewhere that actually has it. They don't have it anywhere close to my house. Carol, from what I understand, the cod, the only time I ever have it is if I'm having fish and chips at like an Irish pub or somewhere. Most Irish restaurants have like a fish and chip dinner where it's fried cod. So that's the only time I've really had it. I always like it's like a white flaky fish. I've never cooked it before in a frozen bag from Walmart, so we will see. What kind of pork rinds? I'm using salt and pepper from Max. I love Max. If they had plain ones at the store, I would have bought the plain flavor, but I love salt and pepper. Can never go bad with that. Do you count the carbs in keto nat? Karen asks. Karen, most of them have 1 or 2 net carbs, so I usually don't, but I don't normally get close to my 25 net carbs a day either. It's not a bad thing to count them. It also is not a bad thing to leave them off because they give you all that appetite control and focus and energy that you normally eat less throughout the day. So if you're really strict on counting your carbs, then yes, go ahead and count those too. Yes, you can do a Parmesan cheese crust, Angela. I actually saw this somewhere, and they did cheddar cheese and then the grated Parmesan. So they did cheddar, grated Parmesan, pickle, cheddar, grated Parmesan, and it looked delicious, but I was just making it even easier. Hey, Terry, how are you? Oh, yes, put some Parmesan cheese in that egg wash. That sounds good. Uh-oh. Tara said that they tried to do some whitefish and it was way too fishy. I don't like tilapia though. The only way I could ever eat tilapia back in the day was like covering it with lemon pepper, and I would cook it in the skillet to where it was really crispy on the edges. That's the only way I could eat it. What can you substitute for pork rinds? You could do the grated Parmesan. So you do the coconut flour, the egg wash, and then grated Parmesan cheese, and that will also make a great crust. Ricky just really wanted the pork rinds this time. This recipe I actually found online in Pinterest. So the link that's going to be in this post for the cod is straight from Pinterest. Normally I would have replaced the pork rinds and I would have done Parmesan cheese, but Ricky asked for the pork rinds, so that's what I did. What brand of pork rinds? Max, M-A-C-S, delicious. Max pork rinds are awesome. I love them. Do you not preheat your air fryer? I could have totally preheated it this time, but I didn't. Also, if you're using your air fryer and you don't have like the non-stick basket, make sure you spray that basket because the coconut flour and the egg mix could totally stick to your basket. So make sure you spray that basket unless you're using a non-stick basket. See, I think I answered these questions. Okay, everybody else answering it for me. Instead of coconut flour, can almond flour be used? Carol, I don't see why not. It may change up the flavor of the fish because the coconut flour has what holds moisture really well, so it makes it. There's a big difference between coconut flour and almond flour. I only buy almond flour maybe one time a year, if that much. and that bag will last me a long time. That bag I showed you was like $11, so it's not very expensive to have it. I personally have a few recipes I like to use it for. A keto sausage ball recipe that is to die for. I use coconut flour. I have 1 or 2 sweet treats that I use coconut flour instead of almond flour. You can change them out, Carol, but I'll be very honest, I'm not good at changing out the ratio. They're not 1-to-1. So with almond flour, it's 1-to-1 ratio with regular flour. So if you have white flour and you're replacing it with almond flour, if it's a cup, it's a cup. Coconut flour is different, and I'm not good at figuring out that difference. So if a recipe calls for coconut flour, that's why I use it, because I'm too scared to try to figure it out. I'm too scared to try to figure it out and to waste my food. The cupcake pan, Rhonda, I made some. We're going to make some fried pickles for our chips to go with the fish. Keto strips, they were on clearance, so I bought them. What do I look for? Terry, I personally don't recommend the keto strips. It's okay that you bought them, but they're just not accurate. Honestly, I do not recommend people worry about checking your ketones, because you'll know you're in ketosis by the way you feel. You're going to be in a better mood. You're going to be craving less food. You're going to be sleeping better. Your joint pain's going to be less. Like, you just have more energy. You definitely feel different, so you know you're in ketosis that way. When you check your urine strips, they're not accurate. So many people get hung up on trying to find a purple color, but in all reality, if you are seeing ketones on a pee strip, you're either having too much ketones, which is normally not the case. Normally, it's just because your body's not using them. So if there's ketones in your urine, more than likely your body's just not using what you're taking if you're taking a supplement. The best way to check ketosis, if you want to check, is through a blood monitor. But again, I don't recommend it. It's just not necessary. And I mean, there's no reason for us to prick our fingers all the time. You truly will know you're in ketosis by the way you feel. Jason is asking about tartar sauce. Let me see what I've got in the refrigerator, because Ricky does have some. So Ricky has some great value Walmart brand tartar sauce. Let me look and see what it says, because he plans to use it. So let me turn this around so you guys can see as well. So this tells you the nutritional facts. So we know that a serving size is 2 tablespoons. It says right here, total carbs 4, and there's 0 fiber. So there are 4 net carbs in 2 tablespoons. So, you know, if you love tartar sauce and you're okay with that, that's fine. Now you'll see down here in these ingredients the reasons I would not use this. Now I may put a little tablespoon of some hot sauce together, but there are lots of reasons why I would not have this. See the soybean oil, see the vinegar sugar, see the food star. Oh, I ain't worried about that. But the high fructose corn syrup. I mean, this is just bad all the way around. I don't care what the carb counts are. I would not want to use this. Now, there are better options out there. Just Google keto-friendly tartar sauces. You'll probably come across some recipes that you can make yourself, or even better keto-friendly tartar sauces. I know Ricky plans to use this. If I do, it's going to be a tiny, tiny bit with some hot sauce. But I doubt I even use it. Judy, Amy, do you have keto peanut butter fudge recipes? Yum. It sounds delicious, Judy. I've got a peanut butter chocolate cup recipe I'll be glad to share you. Pat, couldn't you have added the other fish pieces into the oven? You could have, absolutely. My granddaughters are wearing me out requesting skillet green beans. I love it. Isn't that awesome, Sue? My family loves the skillet green beans. And usually if we have a get together, they ask for something so simple like that. And it makes me so happy. Especially if it's younger people, because most younger people don't want vegetables, right? Catfish is my favorite, Janet. I love some catfish too. We actually are planning to go to the river this weekend just to eat fish. Taking my dad and my husband out for Father's Day, and we're going to go eat us some fish, some grilled catfish. It's so yummy. Is Splenda okay to use when doing keto? Splenda's okay, Sheila. I personally don't like Splenda, but it's fine to use it. I personally would prefer Truvia, Truvia made with stevia leaf as a replacement for a Splenda packet. That's just my recommendation, but you're fine to use it. Reds has a packet of something that's made with ground nuts. I can't remember the name of it, Reds. You'd have to send me a picture, Joey. Let's see, we have 4 minutes left, so we'll check it out in a minute just so we can end the video up. And I'll send a picture later of the finished plate and tell you what I think. But I am going to look and see what it looks like in just a second so you can see it so far. Oh, so Wendy says that there's a Primal Kitchens tartar sauce. I bet it's better than this one, but I'm curious what the ingredients are. I know there are recipes you can make yourself for a tartar sauce, but who's got time for that? Angela says, I haven't tried the G Who's coleslaw mix yet, but I'm hoping to make some slaw. You'll have to tell me, Angela, all about that because I'm excited to hear. Oh yeah, so Kathy makes her own pickle relish with mayo. And let me tell you guys, Kathy, that's awesome. If you'll share your recipe, we'd love to see it. I actually did create a, not like a tartar sauce, but something kind of similar with tuna patty one time, and it was really, really good. So I might have to find that next time. If this fish turns out good, I might have to find that next time to make alongside of it. Tartar sauce is easy to make. Mayo, onion, garlic powder, and minced dill pickles. You go, Jean. You guys are awesome. All right, let me see what this looks like. And if it looks like it's almost done, I'm gonna show it to you. That way you can see what it's gonna look like when it's finished. Let me check out these fried. Oh shoot, that is hot. Okay, the oven is looking hot. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's come over here to my air fryer. All right. Oh yeah, it looks good. Okay, let me pull it out with a fork. Let me find a fork. I got stuff all over the kitchen. All right, let's see. Oh, they're looking good. Now, I'm going to tell you the recipe that I'm posting for you actually says to flip it. You guys know in my air fryer, I don't flip anything. So I'm just going to continue to cook it. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Oh, that looks exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in here, finish it out. That 15 minutes is almost up, though. Turn it up just a little bit. That 15 minutes is almost up. I'm going to cook my second batch. Me and Ricky will share those. Let's see, check out these. We got 2 minutes left on the pickles. Whew, that's too hot to even look at. Let me pull it out. Oh, Lordy. Let me pull it out and see what it looks like. Whew, that's hot. All right, so you'll see they're starting to brown around the edges. It's going to be yummy. That one probably could use more cheese. Oh, I think that's going to be great. So when you put it back in there, I don't want to waste that heat. We're going to cook those the whole 15 minutes. It's got 1 minute and 49 seconds left. I'm going to get out here and go ahead and get my other fish breaded up so I can stick it right in there. Guys, I hope you have an awesome night. If I can help you in any way, just let me know. And if this sounds good and I'm any help at all, make sure you share my videos so that we can grow and show more people how easy it is to live a low carb or a keto lifestyle. Guys, have an awesome one, and I'll post the picture of the plate shortly. Bye, guys.